And some good breaking news is that Stacy appeared in front of a Florida judge on Friday, hours after he was arrested and charged with aggravated battery and criminal mischief in the assault of his ex-girlfriend. I know a lot of these media outlets are saying the alleged assault, I guess for legal purposes. I'm just going to go ahead and keep it real. You assaulted her. The former NFL running back, he surrendered to police in Orlando on Thursday. They thought he might have fled the state following the assault on Kristen Evans over the weekend. Thankfully, this brutal attack was caught on camera and showed him just beating her without regard. Turns out that there were actually two children present when this incident occurred, and there was another child in addition to the 5-month-old baby boy that was on the couch. The judge ordered him to surrender his passport, or he would have to stay behind bars. I'm not really sure why they well, I am sure why he is going to be at least given bail, it appears, since the judge ordered him to surrender his passport, or else he would have to stay behind bars. He told the judge that his passport was in his car in Tennessee. He and his attorney told the judge that a friend may be able to access it and mail it down to Florida, but it may not come until the weekend. Once the passport is surrendered, he will have to post a $10,150 bond, which is relatively low considering the amount of violence that he portrayed in that video and the fact that he destroyed property. Both charges that he's facing are felonies, and he was ordered to have no contact with the alleged victim. So he's got felony charges with a very low bond. Interesting.
Absolutely. And, with this whole thing, so the state of Florida, they see domestic violence as just a simple battery, which is a misdemeanor. But the fact that he damaged my property up to $1,000 makes it a criminal mischief felony. So therefore, my TV is worth more than what my life is worth. And that was...
How does that make you think about...
That's what drove me to do all of this. I have been very vigilant in contacting the detective, and he's been very vigilant in my case, and really him and an Orange County police officer who took it on as a personal vendetta. They have helped me upgrade these charges to aggravated battery. And I'm very thankful for that, because otherwise, if I wasn't vigilant in it, it might have just been overlooked again, and the state would have gotten to it whenever they get to it, and maybe I wouldn't sleep for a month or two, I don't know, or he could get away with it completely. So it's very upsetting that is that way.
Deeply does the fear now install you that you've noticed how it escalated? How are you feeling and what's going on?
Well, every time a car has passed by, I am resisting the urge to look to see who it is. I started crying when you walked up because I'm scared, sorry. It's very scary. It's very scary, so...
He could also face up to 15 years in prison if convicted. That's definitely enough to make a person consider leaving the country. If they're given a chance to be given bail, he's probably going to end up taking a plea at some point because the evidence is just too damaging.
Zachary Stacy, Sr.
A shackled and masked Zach Stacy, once used to hearing his name announced in NFL stadiums, is now hearing it in an Orange County courtroom. Stacy facing charges stemming from this violent encounter. Stacy turned himself into police Thursday night after he learned of a warrant out for his arrest.
Our original plan was that we were going to meet at the Orange County Jail, surrender him there. But apparently someone recognized him in the airport, and Orlando Police Department made the arrest on site.
Stacy's legal team now trying to uncover all the facts in the case.
First and foremost, we don't know if that's the entire video. There is a rule of what they call the rule of completeness. One of the first things that we're going to want to know in this case is whether that's the absolute, complete, full video from start to finish, and that it has been not edited, altered, or tampered with in any way, shape, or form.
Our safety is the #1 concern right now. After a terrifying experience, I'm grateful that Zach Stacy is currently in police custody. At present, I've filed a restraining order and plan on filing a civil complaint.
We met in January of 2019 when I was the wellness coordinator for the Memphis Express, which is with the Alliance of American Football. The league ended in April, and then Zach and I began a romantic relationship around August of 2019. It was very on and off for a little while after we had our miscarriage in 2019. We took some time apart, got back together, and then we conceived our son. And ever since then, it's been kind of up and down as well. Nothing physical until more recently.
Your son's 5 months old?
He's 5 months old, yes.
So is this the first time he really got physical with you?
No, he's been physical with me several times before. This was just the last straw, I would say. I really truly feel that if it continues, he will kill me. He just feels justified in his actions. So there's nothing that anyone could do to justify something like that.
A lot of people see the red signs, and like you said at the very end, you said, I knew he was going to kill me. Does that really play in your mind about what's going on right now?
Absolutely. And just say, like, I'm disappointed the way that the hearing went today. I'm doing okay. I wish I could say that I'm getting better. I would love to have the time to process everything that's happened and everything that's going on. But at every corner, I feel like I'm having to fight for my voice to be heard. I don't understand why I wasn't heard at the hearing today. It's disappointing. It's disappointing, to say the least. Again, I'm going to be brief, and thank you so much for all of your love and support. I appreciate every single one of you that has been fighting for me. Please just keep putting pressure, keep adding pressure, because that's the only way that our voices are going to be heard. Yeah, just keep doing that. Again, I appreciate every single one of you. This has been really tough, and I hope that in all this, I can give other victims strength to come forward. Call the domestic abuse hotline. There are resources out there. There are local attorneys that will take your case. There are women's shelters available for you. And I'm going to do my best to make it possible for us to file emergency injunctions in the state of Florida when needed. Because criminals don't rest on the weekends, and they don't rest in the evenings. And I just cannot express to you enough how upset I am over this situation. The fact that the judge saw the videos, he acknowledged that he saw the videos, he acknowledged that I was there, he acknowledged that I was in the hospital, but still did not give me a voice to speak at the hearing, and then to set his bond at $10,000 is just it's a slap in the face after everything else that I've already been through. This has not been easy for me to release these videos. I have to relive my trauma every single time I tell my story. It's not something I'm enjoying at all. It's very difficult. And again, I just want to thank all of you for your support, and just keep adding pressure. We are trying to file an emergency motion so that I can be heard and that he's not released on a $10,000 bond. That's just ridiculous to me. Thank you guys. Thank you all. I love you. Your support has been overwhelming, and I really appreciate it.
One of the interesting things that I want to point out is that society has a way of making it very hard sometimes to bring people to justice without having that video evidence. In the past, a person had to worry about being the right kind of victim, the kind the police would hear out, the kind the prosecutor would believe, the kind the jury would find credible. But now a person has to worry about being the right type of victim. Do they have the video? Is it graphic enough? Is it horrifying enough? Will it go viral? Am I the right kind of victim? Has never changed. The only thing that's changed is how that question is now being answered. There was another story that broke in the Chicago Tribune on Thursday. A Bears defensive lineman, Mario Edwards Jr., has been sued by a woman who said he became violent with her when she refused to have sex with him. This news did not include photos or video and did not go nearly as viral. So that's why I broached that question. And especially when it comes to domestic violence, we have to treat it all equally, and so that women are not put in positions where their injuries and their trauma has to be so outrageous for there to be outrage. And another thing,
ladies, don't stick around for a last straw. If you see any signs of abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse in the beginning of the relationship, that is a red flag, and you need to get out now. It's not worth it. It doesn't matter how good looking they are. It doesn't matter how good their loving is. It doesn't matter how many other people might want them or be attracted to them. It's not going to be worth it in the end. It never is, and it never will be. People like that are a danger to themselves, first and foremost. So there's no way that your life is going to take precedence over theirs. Please be careful. Please be aware. Please be on alert always, and protect yourself by any means possible. Peace and love. I'm out.